Welcome to St Martin the Fields, and welcome to Great Sacred Music, and congratulations to those of you who have come through the Inferno. It's great to see you. Special welcome to those joining us, excuse me, for the first time, and I would guess more than usual joining us online. The sea. The Genesis conception of creation has three dimensions. There's the Sea of Chaos, the cosmic sea, referred to in Revelation, the famous hymn, as the glassy sea, and the earth. Chaos is the abiding characteristic of the sea. The paradox of the ancient world was that travel over land was slow and at risk from robbery. Sea travel was much quicker but liable to shipwreck. The sea, as in the story of Jonah, always threatening. Crossing of the Red Sea is a sign of God's mastery over chaos. When Jesus later walks on water and calms the Sea of Galilee, he shows a similar dominance. Job speaks of the Leviathan, the monster who rises out of the deep, again something that God finally conquers. Revelation has a sea of fire and a beast from the sea, but eventually in the final vision, there's no more sea and chaos is over. We think of the sea a lot at this time of year because Sea Sunday falls at this time of year, first celebrated in 1975. And there's only one thing that's obligatory about Sea Sunday, which is that you have to sing the hymn that we're about to sing together now. It's our tradition at Great Sacred Music to sing a hymn together. If you picked up a sheet on your way in, you'll be able to find it on the second page. William Whiting was inspired by the dangers of the sea described in Psalm 107 and his own experience of sailing. The hymn has a long association with the Royal Navy and is sung at Sunday Eucharist at the Old Royal Naval College Chapel in Greenwich. It was sung on August the 9th, 1941, at a service aboard the Royal Navy battleship HMS Prince of Wales, attended by Winston Churchill, who requested that the hymn be sung, and Franklin D. Roosevelt at the conference creating the Atlantic Charter. The tune Melita is named after Malta, where Paul was shipwrecked. We remain seated, the voice stand and lead us as obediently we sing, Eternal Father, strong to save. Now we're going to hear two contemporary settings of familiar words about the sea. First of all, an anthem entitled They That Go, which is based on Psalm 107, the same verses of the Bible on which the hymn we've just sung are based. Quite a favourite of composers because they have such a vivid language describing the winds and the waves. They talk about how the boat reels to and fro and staggers like a drunken man, and there are a number of famous settings of those words. We're going to hear a recent composition by Ben Ponya, a British composer of Sri Lankan heritage, holds a PhD in composition from the University of Aberdeen. And then one of our own, not talking about Harry Kane this time, but talking about Lucy Walker, who is our composer in residence. And this is a composition of hers called Make Me an Island, based on a prayer of St. Aidan of Lindisfarne, who died in 651, an Irish monk and missionary credited with converting the Anglo-Saxons to Christianity in Northumbria, founded Lindisfarne Priory, was its first bishop, travelled throughout the countryside, spreading the gospel to both the Anglo-Saxon nobility and the socially disenfranchised, including children and slaves. The prayer of St. Aidan balances solitude with God with service to the world. Aidan asks God to make him an island set apart, then prepare him to carry God's presence into the busy world beyond when the tide turns.
These men see the works of the Lord,
Crossing the Bar is an 1889 poem by Alfred Lord Tennyson. The poem has a tone of finality, and the narrator uses an extended metaphor to compare death with crossing the sandbar between the river of life with its outgoing flood and the ocean that lies beyond, understood as death, the boundless deep to which we return. The pilot is a metaphor for God, whom the speaker hopes to meet face to face. Tennyson explained, "The pilot has been on board all the while, but in the dark I have not seen him. He is that divine and unseen who is always guiding us."
And may there be no sadness
Well, it's time for us to sing again now, if you'd like to take the sheets that we used before. The Tractarian Frederick Faber wrote this hymn after becoming a Roman Catholic in 1846. His originally Calvinist theology is still discernible in the emphasis the hymn places on God's sovereignty, although now in a much more generous vein. The line, "Though we make his love too narrow with full strictness of our own," tells a whole story of how power has been used in the church over many centuries. We remain seated, and the voices stand and lead us as we sing "There's a Wideness in God's Mercy like the wideness of the sea." Now, we're coming towards the end of Great Sacred Music. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. If you have, there's an opportunity to make a donation as you depart. There's a suggested figure on the back of the sheets, but let that only be a minimum and let your imaginations take you to the wonders of your generosity. Next week, we'll be marking St. Thomas's Day. And if you join us for our sister program, Choral Classics, on Sunday afternoon at 3:15, we'll be celebrating 500 years of Palestrina. There won't be 500 motets, sadly, but there will be a good few, much to enjoy. Now, we're going to finish with a spiritual, which has a number of dimensions. Wade in the Water refers first of all to the Exodus, the defining narrative for African American slaves, as they imagined their persecutors, the slave owners, as the Egyptians, and the Red Sea as symbolizing then transition from slavery to freedom. But the notion of wading in the water is also extended to the River Ohio, as many slaves jumped into the Ohio River, which marked the boundary between the slave states and the free states, and many slaves made that journey by wading through the water of the Ohio River. And the phrase, God's going to trouble the water, is derived from John chapter 5, where we read the words, the angel troubled the water. So a classic African-American spiritual steeped in scripture, full of the imagery and the experience of making the journey from slavery to freedom, with the scriptural imagery of water being at the center of the imagination. Thanks for joining us.